If you struggle with shyness or social anxiety, check out our free No BS training course with actual useful advice you can do from home. None of that just get out there nonsense. The link is in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
The question: how would you deal with San Francisco if you were an introvert? Answer by Matt Becker. Every time I visit San Francisco, I try to stay in Fisherman's Wharf so I can indulge a ritual I have enjoyed for years. I start at Ghirardelli Square, very early in the morning, where I'll eat a chocolate croissant. I also purchase a coffee. I'll drink half in the cafe and the rest as I walk. I walk down Beach Street and look out at the water. Then I turn down Columbus Avenue. A few blocks down, I'll pause at Washington Square. There's often a group of elderly people practicing Tai Chi, slowly swaying and moving in the crisp morning air. 1 block down from there, I turn onto Stockton. This is when the loudest and busiest part of my walk begins, because when I hit Chinatown, the whole street is humming with activity. There are people everywhere, lots of loud conversation, exotic foods spilling out into the sidewalk, steam coming from every direction, bright colors and rich tapestries and strange fish. If I'm feeling brave or curious enough, I'll buy a bean bun or some trinket from a small shop, and keep walking, waving a little so I can see the Dragon's Gate. Eventually I get to Market Street, and a couple blocks from there is SMO. If Eva started my journey late enough, and lingered appropriately along the way, I'll arrive right when they open. A nearly empty museum is a beautiful, serene thing. I can do all this with no more than 1 or 2 exchanges with other people, and yet I'm always around others, and Tyrese always activity. I love to watch and listen, so even when I need to recharge I get great joy out of seeing different cross-sections of people and places and cultures. San Francisco has all those things, and having spent some of my most formative teenage years there, it has a special place in my heart. One of the beautiful characteristics of a big city that goes unnoticed by its more loud or extroverted residents is that there are still quiet spaces and moments that can be found and treasured if you know where to look. Even the busiest streets go quiet at the right time. Walking through a crowded neighborhood can be a tranquil experience when you are basically left to your own devices. I have dealt with San Francisco just fine. When you keep your eyes and your mind open and present, you'll find there are moments in the heart of the city that even a shy introvert can take comfort and joy in. Answer by Patrick Bell. The same as any introvert in a fairly big city, even though I considered San Francisco, as distinct from the amorphous mass of the Bay Area, to be a human-scale city at around 800,000 population. In cities of 1 million and more, there is an anonymity for all people who wish it. One is allowed to hide out to whatever degree they wish in those settings. Everyone is allowed to interact at whatever level with whomever they wish. It's just easier in the anonymity of big cities. And, yes, there are neighborhoods to deal with, but even here one is allowed to keep to oneself without much risk of challenge. Mostly people who are rebuffed for speaking to someone out of turn don't usually take it personally. So you're as safe as you want to be. Answer by Matthew Martin. Introversion is not a disability. It doesn't stop you from walking alone or riding the trolley or eating some fish. Big cities are the easiest place to be alone and anonymous.